Hello, my name is Sonia. I am a Veteran Services Coordinator here in Patriotville. Granny called me up yesterday to ask if I would help her. Of course, I could never turn Granny down. She has done so much to help other veterans. I have learned so much from her. We both have a heart for helping others. I am not a veteran, but my grandfather did serve in the Royal Navy. I remember how proud he was to have served our native country that we love so much. Just like in America, our country goes to great lengths to ensure our honorable veterans are laid to rest with dignity. So, it is my pleasure to present to you this video. We will go over veterans' eligibility for burial benefits, claimants' eligibility, reimbursement for burial costs, how to get a headstone, marker, or medallion, burial in a national cemetery, dependent burial, presidential memorial certificate, and burial flag. First, let's go over something that almost all veterans and their family members wait until after the death of veteran to do. Gather together important documentation needed to expedite the process of final arrangements. I see far too many families and friends grappling to gather the necessary documents needed for burial. My office receives calls from family members, and even funeral homes, asking if we have a certain DD-214. It breaks my heart to tell them we do not have it, and they will need to wait for it to be mailed to them from National Archives. Not having the DD-214 alone can cause delays that are just not acceptable during this point in time. So, I have put together a checklist of documents one should get together and store in a safe place that other responsible family members are aware of. You could also scan these documents to an online cloud for safekeeping. Or, better yet, take them to your local state Veteran Services office and ask them to start a file for you. That way your family members can receive the assistance they deserve during that difficult time. First item on the list is VA Form 40-10007. I will go over this form a little more in just a moment. The next and usually most important item is the DD-214. If you do not have a copy, get one. You can order this online at archives.gov. Once you receive your copy, make about 15 more to keep with your documents. Also, if you are receiving VA disability, make a couple copies of your award letter to keep with your documents. If you can, get a veteran ID card with your picture on it, and make a couple copies to keep with your documents. As well, make copies of your birth certificate, social security card, living will, if you have one, and durable power of attorney, if you have one. Keep all of these where the people who will need them when that time comes know where they are. Now, I want to talk just a little about the VA National Cemetery Pre-Need Determination Form. First item on the checklist, VA Form 40-10007. This is an application for pre-need determination of eligibility for burial in a VA national cemetery. Let's be clear. Pre-need means before death. Go ahead and complete this form. Mail it or fax it to the address or fax number on the screen and on the form with your DD-214 and VA award letter, if you have one. After the death of the veteran or dependent, a death certificate will also need to be provided. Upon death, contact the National Cemetery Scheduling Office at 1-800-535-1117. The VA Burial Allowance is a benefit provided by the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, VA, to help cover the costs of a veteran's funeral, burial, and transportation. It is designed to ease the financial burden on the family of a deceased veteran and is available under specific conditions. To qualify for VA burial benefits, one of the following conditions must be met by the veteran. They were discharged under conditions that were not either dishonorable or bad conduct, and they either passed away from a service-connected disability, died while receiving VA compensation or pension, or had a pending claim open at the time of their death and it is deemed that condition would have been approved. Secondly, they might be able to receive burial benefits if they died while in a VA hospital or approved nursing home, or while traveling under VA authorization for care. The claimant must be approved by the VA as either a dependent surviving spouse, or surviving children, parents, or an executioner of the estate, if there is no surviving spouse. Types of VA burial benefits. Service-connected death burial allowance. If the veteran died as a result of a service-connected disability, the VA may reimburse up to $2,000 for burial and funeral expenses. If buried in a VA national cemetery, some or all transportation costs may also be reimbursed. Non-service-connected death burial allowance. For non-service-connected deaths, the VA may pay up to $828 toward burial and funeral expenses. Up to $828 for a plot or interment allowance if not buried in a VA national cemetery. Death in a VA facility. If the veteran dies while in a VA hospital or under VA authorized care, the VA may cover some or all of the transportation costs to the place of burial. Additional burial benefits. VA-provided headstone, marker, or medallion. Available for eligible veterans buried in any cemetery, not just VA cemeteries. Includes a standard government headstone or niche marker. Presidential Memorial Certificate. A certificate signed by the current president honoring the veteran's service. Burial flag. A U.S. flag provided to drape the casket or accompany the urn of an eligible veteran. Interment in a VA national cemetery. Includes a gravesite, perpetual care, opening and closing of the grave, and a government headstone or marker, all at no cost. To apply for burial reimbursement, or burial allowances, you will need to complete VA Form 21 page 530EZ. You will need to submit this claim along with a copy of the DD-214, death certificate, and receipts showing the amounts paid, to whom paid, and the name of the claimant that paid them. The person who paid for the burial expenses must be on the receipt and must be the person filing the claim. VA Form 40-1330 is a claim for a standard government headstone or marker, and 40-1330M is for a medallion to be placed on an existing headstone or marker. Submit these forms and supporting documents either online through Access VA, with an accredited VSO, or by mail to Yanesville, Wisconsin. If you choose Access VA, you will need to create a government ID.me account. This is probably the easiest and most self-sufficient way to submit any claim to VA. Finally, let's talk about dependent burial. Yes, dependents of eligible veterans can be buried in a national cemetery managed by the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, VA. This includes spouses, minor children, and certain adult children who meet specific criteria. The burial benefits ensure that the veteran's family is honored alongside them. This benefit is extended to a dependent spouse, minor children, or adult children who were deemed permanently disabled before the age of 18. Just as was described before with the veteran, each dependent will need to complete individual VA Form 40-10007 before their death. Thank you for watching my tutorial. Your undivided attention has been greatly appreciated. But most of all, I hope you will continue to watch and support Granny's channel, Granny's Heroes. She truly does care for you. If she has helped you along the way to gain a better understanding of the complex VA claims process, don't keep her all to yourself. Share with others so they'll know what to do as well. Farewell, and I wish you all the best.